Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us in this call. We are gathered to discuss a very important topic on how is ACCA offering value to its stakeholders in Pakistan. It's a very important discussion, and I'm sure you'll benefit a lot. I think we stand to gain more from this conversation if you remain interactive throughout the session and you continue to ask us questions. Very quickly, first of all, since this may be your first experience to use this webinar platform, within our members, this is a very common platform and we deliver a lot of content through it. But if this is your first time, I'll very quickly explain how you can handle it. So there is a retractable menu that might have appeared on your screen since you joined. Uh, Attendees will not be able to unmute themselves, so the microphone control is not available, but there's a questions dialog box and a chat dialog box. These are the two dialog boxes that are available for you to interact with us. Any question that you may want to ask, you can open up the questions dialog box and type your question in as it comes to your mind. The question will get recorded and logged, and after our conversation is over, during the question answer break, we will answer each and every question that has been put up. In addition to this, the chat dialog box is also available. So if you want to send a message, particularly to any individual, if it's not a question, if you're facing any difficulty, you can type in through the chat dialog box as well. Right, so let's begin. First of all, I'm going to talk about the market recognition for ACCA. A lot of stakeholders, in fact, all our stakeholders around the world, they benefit from the recognition that ACCA has earned across the world from different stakeholders. And the name ACCA resonates in all these markets as a result of this recognition that we've gained. So, of course, a lot of effort and a lot of deliberation, a lot of hard work goes into earning this recognition in Pakistan as well. So there are four key regulators in the market, as you may also know. The Securities and Exchange Commission of Pakistan, the Higher Education Commission, which gives recognition to educational qualifications, the Federal Board of Revenue, and the State Bank of Pakistan. These are the four key regulators that we are focusing on to make sure that ACCA qualification has the recognition which allows all its stakeholders, its members, its affiliates to be hired or to be given opportunities to work in this country. So that's the most important element of the recognition of the value that we bring onto the table for our stakeholders. Moving on, we've gathered a list of recognitions that ACCA has gathered over the years through its interaction with various organizations as a result of various facilitations, conversations, right? So, for example, the first of all, Code of Corporate Governance states that ACCA members can be appointed as CFOs and head of internal audit of listed companies. Similarly, ACCA members can be appointed CFOs and head of internal audit for public sector companies also. The third one is ACCA members can be appointed as chief executive officers of public sector companies. Then, by the income tax ordinance, ACCA members can become authorized representatives of income tax also. Then income tax rule 2002 registered as they can work as registered tax practitioners. By the way, I must mention here that we're talking about ACCA members. So ACCA members have this right to become authorized tax representatives or tax practitioners. Similarly, Lahore Tax Bar Association has now allowed reciprocal membership for those members who are interested in setting up their tax practice within the domain of Lahore Tax Bar. As a result, our members can openly, freely practice tax in this market. And similar initiatives are being, or similar recognition is being granted by all other tax powers across the country as well. Moving on, FPR is one particular regulator, but at the same time, the revenue board, the provincial revenue boards, they also recognize, or all of them, they also recognize ACCAs as intermediaries. So whether it be the Punjab Sales Tax Authority or the Sindh Sales Tax, Sindh Revenue Board, or whether that be the Balochistan or KP Revenue Board. So all these provincial regulators also recognize ACCA. 10th is the 10th recognition on number 10 is the most important. The ACCA qualification had formerly been included as qualification pay for civil servants of federal government. So any civil servant who completes the ACCA qualification gets a special allowance as a result of becoming or completing the ACCA qualification. So that is an indication of the recognition that ACCA carries within the public sector in this country. The Balochistan government has declared that ACCA members can be appointed as accounts officers starting BS 17 under their Service Rule 2016 Directorate of Sports. And SECP has finally has allowed ACCA practicing members to be eligible to set up as intermediaries for SECP. Now, please notice that this term used here is practicing members. I mean, we're not talking about any member. We're talking about particularly those members who are allowed by ACCA to set up their practice in the market. And we will talk further about that in the slides to come. Moving on, I'm sure all of you know that HEC has awarded blanket equivalence to all ACCA members, which means no matter which entry route have they used to join the qualification, once they become a member, the Higher Education Commission gives them a blanket recognition for the qualification that they have earned. This qualification or this recognition is only given to individuals who have completed their qualification, which means they have completed the three elements of the qualification: exams, ethics module, and experience. Short of that, you cannot get that recognition. Next slide, and I will hand over to my colleague Afrasyab, who is the head of business development for the North region. Afrasyab, over to you.
Thank you, Harun, and I hope everyone can hear me as well. My name is Afrasyab. I am currently stationed at ACCA Islamabad office and working as head of business development for the North region. And I feel this is a very important activity. I mean, when I got to know about that we are interacting with affiliates, it's always exciting because I was part of that journey as well. So I realized that that was the time where actually I wanted to hear more, wanted to know what I can do, and also had a lot of questions. So we are looking forward to that as well. So thank you, Harun, for just running through the recognition side for memberships as well. I mean, we've gone directly to employers, and obviously for members, it's very important that what are we doing with employers. I think it's very important for student and affiliates to know what we are doing with members and employers, so that they can actually understand that connection. Because it's very important that at this point you think about your career, think about how we can move forward and develop our careers at employers as well. So ACCA have actually, you can say, initiated certain, you can say, events and projects which we actually run in collaboration with employers. One of them is called Think Ahead with ACCA. ACCA is one of the most forward-thinking body in the world, and we actually want to go to the employer and actually advocate that as well. So what we are doing, we are actually having sessions with employers where we are engaging with the finance, with the HR, with the sales team, with the senior management of the employer, and bringing the ACCA professional insight and research to them. So we deliver these research reports to our different stakeholders, and these research reports are formulated by our own stakeholders, accessing our global network and our most up-to-date and world-class research. We can certainly look into the professional insight series in the next slide as well, but I wanted to highlight that these are the reports which are actually transform the business models for an organization. And personally, I've seen how these sessions have actually opened doors for ACCA members and affiliates and students in particular organizations. Obviously, role of a member is very important. We have members who are members network panel and advocates for ACCA. They are actually involved and working with employers. We engage with them. They help us. In fact, today even there's one member from a leading telecom. He just informed us there's a position, a couple of positions opened at that particular employer, and he's looking for CV. So that is the sort of relationship we are enjoying and also looking forward to developing further as well. So obviously, members and employers are very important. Our members network panel is always active as well. And fourth, we have ACCA business development team, and now I am part of that team. And well, I'm trying to do what I could do by sitting here and talking to you in terms of bringing this message forward to you. But actually, we have aligned our work very much with employers. So ACCA is very keen to listen to employer so that we can actually bring the learnings, the feedback back into the qualification. And we act as a bridge. The business development team is constantly engaging with employers, with students, with affiliates, and also trying to bridge that gap. So we are working with employers in terms of hiring. So we are providing them with talent. We are trying to create opportunities through our training programs, through our MOUs, through our approved employer schemes with different employers. So that is the function of business development team, which is particularly business as usual for us. So this is the engagement is a day-to-day activity which we are undertaking with different employers. Moving forward, Harun, if you can move the slide. So I informed about the Think Ahead with ACCA. Now, I'm sure there are certain affiliates and students who might have experienced these sessions at employers. And recently, it was very encouraging to know that through these sessions, there's one particular employer in Islamabad, S&P Global, that there was visibility of ACCA as a brand at that organization, and we actually work towards building a great training program with them. And I always encourage our students and affiliates who are working in different organizations that you can certainly engage with us and highlight to us that if we need to approach an employer and deliver these sessions with them. And you can see the outcome of these sessions, that we last year had over 1,600 attendees from different sectors. So these are not finance professionals, because we want to engage with the larger audience and create that ecosystem. So this is HR, finance, customer services, sales, and we did research we delivered research on 72 research reports. There was a 95% feedback. 60 members were helping us in delivering those, and obviously we had profiled those members and those employers as well. So this actually creates that vibrancy in the profession, that ACCA is up to date and working with employers. These are the few of the endorsements by senior professionals with different sectors. So you've seen, from shared service to we have, manufacturing concern as well, finance professional, accountants and HR professionals who are endorsing ACCA and actually feel that ACCA is the qualification which is thinking ahead and also linking, working towards developing the academia and industry linkages. Thank you, Harold.
Thank you, Afrasab.
Yep. No, the next slide. I think the next slide is around.
Right.
Okay, yes.
So,
Over to you. Yes.
right. So, just as the affiliates pass that stage of, that important stage of becoming a member, from where they can begin their professional life, this brings in a new element of learning for them. And of course, for an ACCA member, learning never stops. So, ACCA's role in bringing in the most focused, targeted, forward-looking training opportunities for our members throughout the year. And we call these professional development opportunities or continuing professional development. The characteristics of the kind of professional development opportunities that ACCA offers to its members and at times to its affiliates also is that we offer a lot of variety in the kind of discussions or the kind of trainings that take place. But variety does not mean that we are offering irrelevant trainings. These are very, very relevant, modern, and really those trainings which can help you, which you need to have in place, to grow and develop further professionally. So relevance, variety, the frequency is also very high, which means there's a lot of opportunity for individuals to to become part of it and to extend their learning. The reach is also very strong, which means no matter which part of Pakistan are you in, or even outside Pakistan in certain cases, you have access to this material and you can become part of the trainings live, or otherwise you can look at recorded trainings. Most importantly, these trainings are entirely free of cost. The type of content that ACCA delivers, if you go out into the market and try to take on training similar to these on similar subjects, similar content, they would cost you roughly about 70 to 100,000 rupees from any quality institution. But ACCA, particularly for its stakeholders, we bring this training entirely free of cost throughout the year. And last but not the least, convenience, which means you don't have to go anywhere through the similar portal that we're using today. Sitting in the comfort of your office or your home, you can attend these sessions, and then you can review them or sort of consult these trainings any number of times as you want to. So that's most important. Just to give you an idea of the kind of or the number of trainings that ACC would offer, last year around we were able to conduct about 75 trainings, and last year around we were able to conduct or impart 700 hours of CPD for our stakeholders, for our members. This year around, our target is to conduct about 100 trainings, which means you can imagine what are the number of hours of professional development trainings are the members going to receive. And in certain cases, these trainings are we include ACCA affiliates for such trainings as well. There are, I think, about 250 videos that are available on different subjects, all of which are available on our video channel. The video channel is given there. If you want to go there, you want to search for a particular training, you can just go to www.gotostate.com/channel and look for ACCA Pakistan's channel, and these videos will be available to you. Very quickly, talking about ACCA practicing firms. Yeah. And remember, when we were talking about the recognition from our regulators, I did mention practicing firms when we were talking about SECP's SRO 705, where practicing members have been allowed to become intermediaries for SECP. So what is practice? What is a practicing firm? What do you mean by practicing members? So ACCA has this requirement that any member who wants to get into practice must continue to work or put in training for 3 more years after becoming a member. But the flexibility in this is that 1 year from this training can be before membership, but at least 2 years has to be post membership experience. So members can gain this experience in the area, in the discipline in which they want to establish their firm. And then once they are done and they have their records in place, they can then set up their practicing firm. In Pakistan, because of the statute, ACCA members can set up non-audit practicing services in the country at the moment. The good thing about these practicing firms is, or licenses, is that if you're, let's suppose, if you want to become a tax practitioner, for example, of course, when the term practitioner comes in, you have to get a permission from ACCA also. So you go to the Lahore Tax Bar, become a member of the Lahore Tax Bar, gain their certificate. On the basis of that certificate, on the basis of the local recognition that has been awarded to an ACCA member, the member can go back to ACCA, share that certificate. On the basis of that, can get practicing rights. Okay, so either there are two different ways then. One is that a member puts in 2 years, completes his post qualification or post membership training, and completes the documents, just like you do your practical experience requirement, just like you do your objectives there. Similarly, there are objectives and elements of achievement in this particular case. And once you've achieved them, you answer certain questions, you get your monitor or your supervisor, your workplace monitor or your supervisor to sign those, and then you can go on and get the practicing certificate. Alternately, after completing 2 years post qualification experience, you get a local license, and on the basis of that local license, you can go back to ACCA and get a practicing certificate from ACCA. So that's an interesting avenue for people who don't want to do a job, who are interested in setting or becoming an entrepreneur, setting up their own firm. They can go on to complete their practicing certificate and set up their practices in the country where they want. After Sayab, over to you. Sorry, we can't hear you.
I have, yes, yes, most probably you can hear me now.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes. Okay. So thank you, Harun. I think you know one of our top priority at ACCA is employability, and you would see that in every activity or relationship or aspect, what we are doing, we are moving towards employability. I'm sure you all must have seen this particular weekly job insight, which actually is emailed to you on your registered addresses, and it showcased the weekly activity in terms of the finance jobs moving between sectors, organizations, city-wise as well, and also gives you a feel that how the job market is moving. And obviously, at times weekly trend do show that maybe in December the trend is very different from it is in maybe Feb or March, because those are the hiring seasons. So as student and affiliate, I would recommend that this should actually help you in terms of building yourself. That what is the right time, because I've at times many seen student and affiliates coming to ACCA looking for opportunities, but the time is not right. So it's important to do your research as well. These tools are available to actually provide you insights. I mean, it says job insight, but it actually gives you the way the employment sector, or maybe the way the job segment is moving and shaping up as well. So I think this is a great tool. I think you can always do your research in terms of having your profile uploaded on different platforms. There are many job boards which are available. There are a lot of newspapers. There's a lot of HR organizations which are actually advertising jobs. So it's always good to build that sense as well. And I think moving forward, I would like to talk about one of ACCA tool which is very important in terms of building your own profile and also will help you to develop yourself. It's ACCA Careers. I'm not sure if you've seen the website or registered yourself. It's a very powerful tool. In fact, it is now one of the leading job board in the field of finance and accounting in the world. So that's the, you can say, the reach, the power, the impact for ACCA Careers, and we have global placements here. Obviously, Pakistan is featured here. We have different jobs from different recruiters. We have HR firms registered here, which are actually headhunting through the website as well. And but I want to also focus on another area which is actually not looked at. You can say you don't talk about it as a first priority when you look at the job board, is the career development or the professional development. There was mention of professional development in terms of having CPD sessions, but trust me, there is hours and hours of CPD embedded in the jobs board. You have the career advice section, which, just look at the screen. There's top 10 global in-demand skills. Then there are articles as, yes, Arun, if we can move forward, how to research potential employer. Now, this is something I actually had to figure out after maybe facing rejection of 200 CVs applying to various positions and never getting a reply. Playing to your strength. How you play to your strength in terms of your interview, in terms of your CV, in terms of your personality. So these articles are available free of cost and waiting for you to actually pick on, and in terms of understand them and build your own brand in terms of an individual, because employer are looking for people who have a various skill set, because the way we are moving, employers are very much focused on communication, on presentation skill. Yes, technical skills are very important, and obviously your academics and technical knowledge matter. But when you build your career, you have to move forward and looking at the slide as well, create a winning CV. Now, this is something where actually I can spend half an hour. I deliver lectures or maybe sessions on, what is a good CV, why it is a good CV, how can you build a CV, and you have those articles available. Even if you do a research on Google, you will have 100 and or maybe 1,001 ways of how to improve your CV or what works. At time, you have to look at the employer, that what type of CV you need. You have to look at the city you are applying, how to know what the CV is, what CV is required. Just an example that in a European market or in UK, you probably would not paste a picture of yourself on a CV. However, in Middle East, it is recommended by every employer and the HR fraternity that you always should have a picture on your CV. This is a culture difference, or the way the corporate sector or the, you can say, recruitment runs in those regions. So how do you know these things? You have to read about them. I got to know while I was doing research and actually looking for different various positions. A winning covering letter. Again, covering letter is something you have professional help as well, but if the help is available, please go and look at it. Interesting, another slide came up, avoiding interview blunders. Psychometric testing, what it is, why they do it, how you can prepare for it, because there's no course outline to it, but if you know the system, you can actually mentally prepare for it. At times, interviews have no right or wrong answer. It is always about bringing your personality or being true to yourself. How do you do it? How do you get the confidence to actually address someone face to face, or maybe a panel interview? Now, face to face interview is very different from a panel interview. I learned that because at one of the interview when I went there was a panel interview, and there were two people who were constantly just looking at me, and I sort of felt uncomfortable that they are not blinking, they're just looking at me, they're not even talking. So there's one person asking me a question, but they are left and a right couple, four eyes looking at me constantly, and that's a different sort of pressure. So these are just small thing, and I'm sure in the Q&A as well, I would like to address any queries if you have. But your focus should be on gaining the maximum for the tools available to you, which is one of the ACCA careers. Moving on, I talked about the professional insight, where we deliver those professional insight through the think ahead sessions, but I would like to talk about the professional insight itself. I'm not sure if you know, there is a professional insight app available on Google Store, and it is, you can say, a wealth of knowledge. There are hundreds of reports on those through that app. You can have that access. This professional insight is available on ACCA Global as well, our website. These reports are world class. You can download them. You can actually go through their executive summary and detail, and it will help you to grow as a professional, and also to build conversation with your seniors and peers. I felt that at times these reports have helped me to actually engage with CEOs, because my work required that I meet CFOs, finance director, and CEOs, and these reports are so updated that their content or their outcomes can be shared with them, and they actually will have their own feedback, and you probably can relate to the report back as well. So I think this is a USP for ACCA members, student affiliates, and ACCA stakeholders, and we can certainly build on them. So wherever I have placed emphasis on professional insight, the fraternity or the professionals have really appreciated. So I would encourage you to go right now to Play Store and download Professional Insight. Yes, thank you, Haru.
Thank you, Afrasiab. Let's move on further with our presentation. The next topic I'm going to discuss is our members network panel. So in every country where there's a sizable number of members, there's a group of members who become advisors to the executives and represent the members of that country to the executives. So in Pakistan also we have the members network panel. The elections were held in 2018, and the panel will remain in place till 2020. Very quickly showing you the names and faces of individuals who were elected as panel members. So Amin Ali, he's an ACCA member. He's partner in Harvard Hossain Chaudhary and Company. Hafiz Arsalan Shabir, again an ACCA member. He's the head of internal audit and compliance at High Mount Group. Then we have Fiza Imran, who was an executive director of Corporate Journal Solutions and is currently working with another practice. Mr. Muhammad Abu Bakr, who is a partner at Baker Tilly Mahmood Idris Kamar Chartered Accountants. And finally, Tahir Sartaj, who is the wing head regulatory reporting at National Bank of Pakistan. These were the 5 individuals who were elected by the members and brought on to the members network panel. At the same time, there were 5 ACCA members who were selected by ACCA. So without any prejudice to the term elected or selected, but the model that we are using for MNP in Pakistan is the hybrid model. So 5 members are elected and brought on to the panel, and then ACCA goes out itself and selects 5 members who are then put up on the panel. So we have Asad Ali Sharif, who is the CFO of Standard Chartered Bank, Murtaza Hassan, who is the General Manager Finance at Toyota Motor Company franchise dealership in Peshawar. We have Umar Zahir Mir, who is the managing partner of MLCC, his own firm. And by the way, Umar Zahir Mir is the chairman of the members network panel also. Then we have Salman Zafar, who is the director internal audit at Competition Commission of Pakistan. And last but not the least, Salman Irshad, who is the CFO of Multan Carpets Industry. So please notice a few things. Uh, Look at the diversity of the network panel. Almost all sectors in the employment are covered, by these professionals. Number two, look at the cities. All of them come from various cities from across Pakistan. So we have an excellent representation of members from across the country. And what happens is that these people, these network panel members, when they represent the members to us, uh, any uh, any area where members would want development to happen or want to draw ACCA's attention towards that, these are the members who would come in and advise ACCA that this is something that needs to be done in order to increase the reputation and influence of ACCA in the market. Um, Moving on, at the same time, alongside this members network panel, there are 9 subcommittees also which perform different tasks. So, for example, right now the taxation subcommittee of ACCA Pakistan is very, very active. So, the taxation subcommittee had prepared a budget proposal which was presented to the regulators and authorities in Pakistan, the finance minister, the chairman FPR, uh, and the state minister for finance. So we presented our proposal to them. Then we've been conducting events. A few days back, there was an event in Islamabad around the post-budget and its implication on economic reforms in the country. Similarly, we have 2 governance subcommittees, one for banking organizations, the other for non-banking institutions. Then members representing in academia, and last of all, entrepreneurship subcommittee. At the same time, there are there are societies also, so advisory society for members, the Women in Finance Society, the Society for Differently Abled Members, so members or students or affiliates who have some disability and want special attention from ACCA. That is what our responsibility towards them is. And last but not the least, Employability Society, which works hand in hand with the ACCA executives and does a lot of referrals and signposts our members, students, and affiliates to various jobs. Moving on to our last segment of the presentation. And by the way, I've noticed some questions coming in. Please feel free to post questions. Straight after this last part of the presentation, we will be reverting to those questions and we'll be answering them one after the other. So there are various member engagement forums that we've put in place, which means once you become an ACCA member, your life changes altogether. You experience a lot of networking, meeting up with members, meeting up with professionals, meeting up with at ACCA Secretariat. Uh, so 9 of these have been listed out here. So every Thursday there'll be an evening huddle where members would get together. They will discuss one topical issue. They'll have some networking and then they'll go away. Similarly, Afrasiab has talked about Think Ahead with ACCA. We within our members, we have this program of member advocates. So that is in place. Public Value Delivery Award. So any member who has done something substantial and has delivered public value as a result. So, for example, a member of ours was instrumental in the stock market growth back in 2017-18, was given a special award from us. There was another member who came up with the policy for health sector in Punjab, right, as a government official. So he was given a public value award, so on and so forth. There was a member um, from Islamabad as well, a female member, young female member, who was given a Public Value Award as well. A member from Islamabad who was instrumental in power and regulatory authority in setting up tariff for energy, different energy sources in Pakistan. So such members are given a Public Value Award. CPDs, third-party events, ACCA Pakistan's own team, we engage with our stakeholders every now and then. Our customer services department, and I'm sure you must have been in touch with them every now and then. And last of all, but as I explained, MNPs and subcommittees. So that's our motto for engagement with our stakeholders. We try to do new things. We try to engage our stakeholders differently every now and then. And that's how we continue to offer value to our stakeholders. Now, this brings us to our end of the presentation and to questions and answers. We have two questions so far, and I'll answer one, and the other one I'll ask Afrasiab to answer. I'll read out the question and then I'll answer it. In the meanwhile, if there are any more questions that any of the participants wants to ask, you can type them in. The first question is from Muhammad Ali, and he's asking, where are these free CPD trainings conducted? Please mention a few examples, and how can I know if there is any upcoming training? Thank you, Ali. Most of these trainings are held in the cyberspace, which means we use this webinar platform to conduct these trainings. So they are conducted globally, regionally, or countrywide, at given times. Your second question, second part of this question was mention a few examples. So a little before this particular webinar, which means today from 2 o'clock till 4 o'clock, there was a webinar being conducted for members, which was on NOCLAR, which means not the non-compliance laws and regulations. So and a little before that, we were talking about yesterday. We were talking about machine learning. Yesterday we talked about asset declaration scheme as well. Most of these webinars, like I said, are for members, but webinars for on Microsoft Excel, on advanced level of Microsoft Excel, etc. They are the ones that we normally engage affiliates in as well. So the recordings of these webinars, like I said to you, are available on www.gotostage.com. You can go there, search all there are about 250 training recordings available for different trainings. Very, very useful, very simple to understand. You can go there and you can attend them yourself. The next question is again from Muhammad Ali, and I will ask Afrasiab to answer this question. Muhammad Ali is asking that I am an affiliate since 2014. Could not get membership because I remained in teaching privately and at few colleges. Can anyone please recommend me the best way to get my membership? Afrasiab, if you can answer this question.
Thank you, Harun, and thank you, Ali, for the question. I think, you can certainly bring some of experience, teaching experience for membership, but for membership, you need supervisory finance experience, and it's never too late to start. So we are always there to help, and I feel that I'm not sure where you're based in terms of your locality, city point of view. If you can mention that as well, that will help. That the business team is available to support you, and I would say that if you were in a teaching role, there are certain strengths you might have gained over the course of your experience in terms of communication skills, the technicalities, and this should certainly help you to actually go for a position in the training or the finance related role as well. So my personal opinion is never too late. We can certainly support you. If you have a CV, you can email us as well. We'll certainly send it to the relevant team looking after positions in those areas as well. So my first comment is it's never too late. Secondly, obviously, you build on your strength you've gained over the teaching course as well. And because I'm saying all this because actually there was particularly one affiliate who I helped a couple of years back, who was in a teaching mode for 3 years and felt that wanted to move to a training role and might have to compromise on the stipend level or the salary or the remuneration. So that is, experience versus your financial gains. So I think you need to plan it that way as well. Look into maybe you can certainly do teaching part time as well, but focus on training, and then we can certainly support you as well. So once we know your locality. G. Okay. So any more questions or comments?
Yes, Afrosab, sorry, I was on mute. I didn't realize. Ali has responded, and he says that he's based in Islamabad, so he's right in your domain. So, how can he get in touch with you?
Yeah, Afrasab here, very much in Islamabad, blue area. So I mean, I'll Harun, if you can type, or I can type, sending to all. If I can just write my email address, and if Ali can share um, his CV with us. So, so you might get a call from ACC office as well. It will be myself or my colleague Ali Shan. We do talk one-to-one with affiliates and students anytime. In fact, every day in the morning there's someone coming and meeting us as well. So we'll give you a call, look at your CV, work with you, try to help you. I mean, in this case, there's no guarantee for anything, but certainly the support will be available for you.
Thank you very much, Afrosab. Yes, Ali has shared his number, so
Yep.
I think we can get in touch with him using this number
Yes,
afterwards. Just a bit of clarity, Afrosab. Is it that teaching experience, if somebody has gained only teaching experience, 1 year of that experience can count towards ACCA membership, and it's maximum 1 year, right? So the remaining 2 years, the person will have to switch roles and get into a real life accounting and finance role, and that's how
Yes.
can progress to membership. Is it
Yes.
still the case?
Yes, I mean, yeah, there's a limit to the experience you can bring forward, because ACCA, in terms of technicalities, when you're filling your, experience, practical experience requirement, there are 5, you can say, competencies which are based on your personal effectiveness, and 4 on technical knowledge. So by teaching, certainly you can bring in your personal effectiveness and the competencies in terms of showcasing leadership or negotiation skills, communication. We can work around that, and then, like Harun mentioned, we would actually need to fulfill the technical aspect as well, which will be finance related. So 1 year teaching can be there, but 2 years we need supervisory work in terms of finance or related role to an accounting and finance field.
And Afrasab, so sort of investigating Ali's question a bit further, if he's become a member in 2014, sorry, if he's become an affiliate in 2014, you really have 3 years to complete your ACCA membership or gain your membership. If it doesn't happen, then you become a mandatory affiliate, which means you pay the subscription of a member, but you get the benefits of an affiliate, which is not a
Yes.
good position to be in. So my first advice, uh, your first effort as an affiliate should be to become an ACCA member as quickly as possible. I mean, just whiz through this phase of remaining an affiliate. Okay. Number two, if you've completed exams, that does not mean that you've completed the qualification. There will come a time in your career, if you're not feeling the brunt already now, but there will come a time in your career when you start to feel that you need to have the ACCA membership under your belt. Why? If an ACCA employer says, I want to recruit an ACCA member, there are certain level of promises that ACCA as an organization would make to that employer. We'll tell that employer that, look, this individual, if he's an ACCA member, will come with certain set of skills, will come up to date with professional knowledge, and therefore you are not exposing your organization to unnecessary risk by employing an individual who's fully qualified and who's up to date with professional competence, professional skills, which is a promise that ACCA as an organization cannot make for students or affiliates. Am I right, Afrasab? And I've
Yes.
met a number of, I mean, we've all met a number of individuals who did not become members at the right time, and then they had to suffer afterwards. So my advice to all of you would be, first attempt of for most priority has to be to become an ACCA member as soon as possible. Yes, Afrasab, anything that you want to say here?
Yep. And I I mean, it's a very simple, Harun. It's about completing the qualification. So, I mean, the qualification is ACCA membership.
Hmm.
So, I mean, if you haven't completed your qualification, you probably are not getting the complete benefits as well. You are, member affair knows very well that what are applicable to members. So, I mean, all those CPD events for members are applicable to a member, and who is not part of that network will miss out. Obviously, when we go to employer, they recognize the difference between a student, an affiliate, and a member. So I mean that recognition is very much in the market, and they understand that which roles are relevant for trainees, for affiliates with experience, and for members. So I mean, it's just moving into that particular ladder as well of recognition within your body as well and within the employer. I think that's very important, and I think that's the first thing we should be aiming as a ACCA student and affiliates to get towards that membership and build our career. I mean, that's the point where we actually have qualified the qualification, and we can actually build our career from there on.
Afrasab, rightly so, Ali has written that he's also realized now and says, inshallah, he's looking forward to become a member as soon as possible. Good luck with that, Ali. And any help, like Afrasab said, any help that you need, ACCA teams are always there to help people to make sure that they achieve full potential out from their qualification.
And you taken the first step, I mean, by attending this webinar and showcasing your, interest, and so I mean that is the way it starts. And now it's on us. I mean, myself to actually, get connected with you and start that networking and build it up. So you see how it works, that you took initiative or just the time to attend this webinar, and now we are connected and we can certainly work together to actually take it forward.
Sure. Thank you very much. I think this brings us very nicely to the end of the session.
Yep.
You know where to get in touch with us or how to get in touch with us. Afrasab has shared his email address. You can note that down, or otherwise you can get in touch with us through our customer services teams. So we look forward to speaking with you people. We look forward to supporting you people becoming members. Any final messages, Afrasab, you give? And then straight after that, I think we call it a session.
Yep. I mean, I said it in the beginning that being part of the journey and was a student and affiliate, I think the most difficult part of my journey was when I was an affiliate, where I felt I had completed the qualification, where I hadn't. I had a lot of questions. I needed a lot of support, which was not available in the books. So is the real world. After an affiliate where you're so reliant on, the books and the curriculum taking you through, you clear your exams and you say there are no more books, and you have to find different medium to actually, develop yourself and learn how to become a professional. And I'm very happy that now, this tools like calls and video calls are providing an opportunity for ACCA to interact with its stakeholder so that we can actually bridge that gap. So I really appreciate, the fact that we are able to actually undertake this activity, and will appreciate feedback from the attendees as well, so that we can continue with this sort of forum and sessions for the future as well. Yep, Harun, I think you're on mute. Can't hear you.
Yeah, I have unmuted myself. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for taking time out, and have a very nice weekend. Checking out from the ACC office here. Take care, and thank you very much.